As a wise person once said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." These words remind us that, while helping others is noble, neglecting our own well-being can have unexpected consequences. Today, we're discussing a topic often praised but rarely examined: the act of helping others. In a world that celebrates kindness and altruism, it's easy to overlook the potential drawbacks of always offering assistance. Join us as we explore the dark side of helping others, uncovering 13 surprising ways it can actually harm you. From the psychological toll of the Martyr Syndrome to the subtle erosion of personal boundaries, we'll delve into the complexities of altruism and self-care in today's interconnected world. So, take a moment to reflect, keep an open mind, and let's dive into this exploration through the lens of Stoic wisdom. 1. The Martyr Syndrome. Do you often find yourself always putting others' needs before your own? If so, you might be familiar with what psychologists call the Martyr Syndrome. This happens when people prioritize helping others so much that they forget about their own mental and emotional well-being. It's like walking on a slippery slope that can lead to many negative outcomes. The toll it takes on your mind and emotions can be huge. By always putting others first, we risk running out of emotional energy and feeling like we're not good enough. As Gautama the Buddha wisely said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." But those with the Martyr Syndrome often struggle to believe this. While sacrificing for others might seem noble, it can actually lead to burnout and resentment. Imagine constantly taking care of others while ignoring your own needs. Over time, this can make you feel really tired and drained emotionally. Always being the hero for others can make you resentful towards them and even towards yourself. In short, the Martyr Syndrome has two sides. It might make others praise you, but it can also harm your mental and emotional health. So, next time you feel like sacrificing yourself for others, remember Gautama Buddha's words. It's okay to take care of yourself too. After all, you can't help others if you're running on empty. So, 2. Dependency issues. Have you ever noticed that sometimes the more you help someone, the more they rely on you? This shows an important part of helping others: the chance for them to become too dependent. Even though we want to help, giving too much assistance can make people depend too much on others. This can stop them from growing and being independent. Psychologically, dependence happens when people get used to getting help for even small things. Over time, they might rely on others to solve problems instead of learning to do it themselves. This can be really bad, especially when people can handle problems on their own, but choose not to because they can get help easily. There are many examples of this in real life. Think about a parent who always fixes every little problem for their child, like forgotten homework or fights with friends. Even though the parent wants to protect their child, they're actually stopping them from learning from mistakes. Similarly, at work, managers who control every little thing their employees do can stop them from being creative and taking charge of their work. Dependence issues can make people feel helpless, like they can't solve problems without help. As helpers, it's important to find a balance between helping and letting people be independent. True empowerment means giving others the tools and confidence to deal with life's challenges on their own. 3. Emotional drain. Helping others means being there for them when they're going through tough times. While it's really nice to help, it's important to know that it can be emotionally draining. When we take on other people's problems without setting limits, it can really affect us. Imagine carrying the weight of someone else's problems all the time, feeling their pain like it's your own. After a while, it can be too much, making us feel tired, burnt out, and emotionally exhausted. Without boundaries, helpers can end up feeling empty, with no energy left for themselves. That's why it's super important for helpers to take care of themselves too. Doing things that make us feel good, like spending time outside or talking to friends, is really important for staying emotionally balanced. Also, it's important to build up emotional strength so we can handle tough situations that come with helping others. This strength helps us bounce back from hard times, set limits, and know when to take a break and focus on ourselves. By looking after our own well-being and building up our emotional strength, we can keep helping others without getting worn out ourselves. Helping others is great, but we need to do it in a way that keeps us healthy and strong too. After all, if we don't take care of ourselves, it's hard to help others in a way that really makes a difference. 4. Enabling destructive behavior. Sometimes when we're trying to help someone, we might unintentionally make things worse. For example, if a friend is dealing with a problem like addiction, we might try to help by giving them money, listening to them, or making excuses for them. Even though we're trying to be nice, these actions can actually make it harder for them to change. By taking away the natural consequences of their actions, like facing the results of their choices, they might not feel the need to get help or make things better. It's important to find a balance between being supportive and holding them accountable for their actions. This means showing care and understanding, but also encouraging them to take responsibility for what they're doing. We might need to set clear limits, give them helpful advice, or guide them towards resources that can help them change. By finding this balance, we can help them break free from bad habits and take control of their lives. It's about understanding that real help sometimes means challenging them, not just agreeing with everything they do. This way, we can help them grow and make positive changes for a better future. 5. Loss of identity. Sometimes when we're busy helping others, we forget to take care of ourselves. We get so caught up in listening to our friends' problems or spending time volunteering that we forget about our own interests and passions. Imagine if every day was just about helping others and we didn't have time for the things we love, like painting or hiking. It's important to have hobbies and interests outside of helping others. They remind us that we're more than just caregivers or supporters. We're unique individuals with our own dreams and desires. Setting boundaries is also really important. It means deciding when and how we can help others without forgetting about ourselves. Maybe we need to limit how much time we spend helping others or say no when we're feeling overwhelmed. By taking care of ourselves and staying true to who we are, we can keep helping others in a genuine and sustainable way. After all, we can only be there for others if we're taking care of ourselves too. 6. Financial strain. Helping others can sometimes lead to financial strain, even if we don't realize it at first. Imagine if you're always lending money to friends or family who need it. While it feels good to help, it can end up costing a lot and might even put your own financial future at risk. Plus, always being the one people turn to for money can make you feel weighed down by responsibility. You might end up sacrificing your own financial goals to help others, which isn't fair to you. That's why it's important to set boundaries around money when helping others. It means deciding when and how you're willing to help financially, and being clear about it with everyone involved. Learning to say no when you need to is hard, but it's important for keeping your own financial well-being in check. True assistance isn't just about giving money, it's about helping others stand on their own feet and become stronger too. 7. Neglecting personal needs. When we help others too much, we often forget to take care of ourselves. Whether we're spending hours helping a friend who's going through a tough time or always putting other people's needs before our own, this kindness can make us ignore important self-care. This might include not getting enough sleep, eating poorly, or skipping exercise. Over time, this can make us feel very tired, stressed, and burnt out. To maintain a healthy balance, it's important to set time aside for ourselves each day for things like meditation, writing in a journal, or walking in nature. We also need to set clear boundaries about when we can help others, making sure we have time to look after our own needs. Being kind to ourselves is just as important as being kind to others. By taking care of ourselves, we ensure that our help to others comes from a place of strength and not from exhaustion. Remember, we can't help anyone effectively if we're running on empty. Taking good care of ourselves helps us be there for others in a more impactful and lasting way. Hate, resentment, and bitterness. Resentment is a hidden risk when we help others. Even with good intentions, we can start feeling resentful if our help isn't returned or appreciated. Imagine spending lots of time and effort to help a friend, only to be ignored and unthanked. This can lead to feelings of bitterness, damaging the trust and good feelings in the relationship. Resentment is especially strong if the help we've given isn't paid back in some way. This could be due to a lack of thanks, not recognizing our efforts, or not getting help in return when we need it. These feelings can make us feel disillusioned and bitter. To deal with resentment, it's important to understand where others are coming from and to recognize that they might be dealing with their own issues. This can help us feel more compassionate and forgiving. Also, setting clear boundaries and communicating our needs clearly can prevent resentment from starting. By clearly stating what we expect in our relationships, we can build mutual respect and understanding, reducing the chances of feeling let down. Handling resentment well means being ready to face tough emotions and talk honestly, whether through writing, therapy, or direct conversations. By addressing our feelings constructively, we can work through them, find peace, and improve our emotional health. 9. Impact on relationships. When we often help others, it can put a strain on our own personal relationships in ways that might not be obvious, but are still significant. Even though we want to be compassionate and supportive, focusing too much on others' needs can mean we don't spend enough time on our own relationships. For example, if someone spends most of their time helping friends or co-workers, their partner might feel overlooked and unimportant, even if they try to be supportive. This can lead to feelings of resentment and dissatisfaction. Also, constantly helping others can make our relationships feel more like business transactions where everything is about giving and receiving help instead of real emotional connection and closeness. This can make us feel disconnected and isolated as our relationships lack depth and authenticity. To prevent these issues, it's important to maintain healthy boundaries in our relationships. This could mean setting aside specific times for quality interactions with our loved ones without distractions. It's also important to talk openly and honestly about our own needs and priorities to build understanding and respect. Additionally, showing empathy and compassion can help balance our desire to help others with our need to keep our relationships strong. By really listening to what our loved ones need and making sure they feel supported, everyone can feel valued. Helping others is a noble act, but we need to watch that it doesn't harm our closest relationships. By focusing on healthy boundaries, clear communication, and mutual respect, we can help others without sacrificing our own relationships and well-being. True support often comes from maintaining genuine, caring relationships. 10. Compassion fatigue. Compassion fatigue happens when we care for others a lot and start to feel emotionally and physically tired from it. This condition comes from being exposed too long to other people's suffering and trauma. For example, a healthcare worker who takes care of distressed patients for many hours, or a social worker who hears about abuse and trauma every day, might start to feel this way. Even though they want to help and relieve pain, constantly seeing other people's pain can wear them out. To deal with compassion fatigue, it's important to practice self-care. This includes doing things that make us happy and relaxed, like meditation, exercise, or spending time outside. Getting support from friends, mentors, or therapists is also crucial. They can offer comfort and advice, helping us cope with the stress of caring for others. Setting healthy boundaries is another key strategy. Knowing our limits and being able to say no helps us take care of our own needs and avoid getting too burnt out. Treating ourselves with the same kindness we offer to others can also protect our well-being. Although compassion fatigue is common in caring professions, it can be managed. By caring for ourselves, seeking help when needed, and practicing kindness towards ourselves, we can handle the challenges of compassion fatigue. This way, we can keep helping others effectively and sustainably. 11. Unrealistic expectations. In the world of helping others, There's often a silent pressure to always be ready and available to help, no matter what it costs us. This can lead to unrealistic expectations from the people we help and from ourselves, whether it's answering messages at all hours or always putting others' needs before our own. These expectations can lead to stress and burnout that are hard to escape. Imagine a situation where a friend or family member relies on us as their main source of support, expecting us to be there for them instantly whenever they need. While we might want to meet these demands at first, the constant pressure to be available can quickly become too much. Setting realistic boundaries and managing these expectations are crucial. This might mean openly talking about when we can be available and what our limits are, and setting clear rules for when and how we can help. By creating boundaries that consider our own needs, we set up a healthy and lasting way to maintain relationships. Handling these expectations also requires us to be aware of our own limits and to stand up for our right to take care of ourselves, even if it might disappoint others or seem selfish. By changing how we think about being helpful, we can start to push back against the unrealistic demands placed on us and take control of our own lives. While it's common to feel like we always need to be available, it's important to recognize how this can affect our well-being. By setting realistic boundaries, managing expectations, and advocating for ourselves, we can develop a healthier and more sustainable way of helping others that also respects our own needs and priorities. 12. Self-neglect. When we're busy helping others, it's easy to forget about our own needs. Whether we're caring for friends, family, or colleagues, focusing too much on others can leave us with little time or energy for ourselves. Imagine always putting other people's needs first and not taking care of yourself, skipping enough sleep, eating well, or taking breaks. Over time, this neglect can harm our physical, emotional, and mental health, leading to exhaustion, burnout, and less resilience. It's very important to practice self-compassion and take care of ourselves while helping others. We should treat ourselves with the same kindness we offer a friend in need. This includes recognizing our limits, setting realistic boundaries, and making our own well-being a priority. Self-care can look different for everyone. It might mean setting aside time for hobbies that make us happy, practicing mindfulness or meditation, or getting support from loved ones or professionals. By making self-care a priority, we refill our energy, increase our resilience, and maintain our ability to help others in a meaningful way. Helping others is commendable, but we must remember that we can't help anyone if we're run down. By focusing on self-care, we not only protect our own health but also improve our ability to positively affect others. After all, the best way to help others starts with taking care of ourselves first. 13. Overlooking red flags. When we focus on helping others, it's easy to miss warning signs in their behavior. We might see troubling patterns as just one-off events or downplay how serious they are because we want to help. Consider a situation where a friend keeps making excuses for their partner's controlling behavior, blaming it on stress or relationship troubles. Even though there are clear signs of manipulation or abuse, they might ignore these issues, thinking they can help their partner change. It's important to recognize these warning signs and deal with them without risking our own well-being. One way to do this is by being more self-aware and listening to our instincts. If something feels wrong, it's important to trust that feeling and look into it instead of brushing it off. Also, it's crucial to talk openly and honestly with the person we're trying to help. We should express our concerns in a kind and understanding way, offering support and suggesting they seek further help or make positive changes. Creating a safe environment allows the person to talk about their issues without fear of being judged. Additionally, getting advice from trusted friends, family, or professionals can provide different perspectives and help us see things we might have missed. Helping others is valuable, but we must stay alert to any warning signs that could suggest deeper problems. By being aware, keeping open lines of communication, and seeking advice when necessary, we can handle these situations with care and ensure our help is truly effective and lasting. In conclusion, while helping others is a great thing to do, it's important to be aware of the possible difficulties that come with it. From the risk of burnout and feeling emotionally drained, to the possibility of supporting harmful behaviors or missing warning signs, helping others needs to be handled carefully. By taking care of ourselves, setting the right limits, and building our ability to bounce back, we can make sure that our efforts to help don't hurt our own well-being. It's all about finding the right balance between caring for others and caring for ourselves. True help starts with looking after our own needs first. The best support we can give others comes from being genuine, empathetic, and self-aware. By being mindful and deliberate in how we help, we can positively influence others' lives while also growing and maintaining our own health. Ultimately, by respecting our own needs and boundaries, we are better equipped to be our best selves for both us and those we aim to help. We've reached the end of our discussion, and I hope these insights have been helpful to you. Remember, you're an important part of this channel and community. If this video has helped you reflect, learn something new, or simply resonated with you, please give it a thumbs up so more people can benefit from Stoic wisdom. And if you haven't yet, check out our ebook on Stoicism and how to apply it in your life. Subscribe for a daily dose of Stoic wisdom and a more fulfilling life.